one and I stand on that. You and me, babe, that's black on black.
Sean Combs steps down as chairman from Revolt. It says temporarily. He stepped aside. He made the decision to step aside last week. It's not clear when he plans on returning. He co-hosts a podcast on November 20th, the co-host of a podcast on Revolt announced she wouldn't participate in the third season. Yes, this woman said, I'm not going to participate. Dawn Montgomery, she said, I'm a sexual assault survivor and I cannot be a part of a show that's supposed to uplift Black women while Diddy leads the company. She hosts something called Monuments to Me, a podcast about Black women's issues. Her name is Dawn Montgomery. One of the suits filed against Combs was a federal $30 million suit that by Cassie that was settled. Cassandra Ventura. There's another suit, and there's probably going to be another suit, and there's more allegations and more, piling on, because that is what happens when people have the courage to come forward. Other people say, "Hey, that happened to me too." That's how that worked.
Yeah, buddy. All right.
Okay. All right. We'll move on.
No. I mean, we can get it.
That's your one. Okay. Go ahead, Don.
No, my boy. No. I don't know that anything I could say hasn't been explored. So let's just talk pure hardcore business valuation discussion here. How atrocious of a business move was it for Diddy to, and this carries the assumption that the lawyers showed him a lawsuit that they were going to file, right? That they showed him the petition, which, by the way, is general practice, that I would send this to you and say, hey, man, we've been talking, we've been negotiating. And Diddy says she's been trying to get $30 million from me. Well, okay, then there have been discussions going on around these specific allegations. At some point, Cassie's lawyers put those specific allegations into the four corners of what's known as a petition, aka a complaint. How poor of a business decision was it? I don't care if she's asking you for $30 million. I don't care if she's asking for 50. How bad of a business decision was it to not concede and give that girl that $30 million? Now, some would say you don't negotiate with terrorists. Fair. But you have to imagine where Diddy gets his revenue from. At this point, Sean Combs ain't selling no records. He might be getting, obviously, he's getting residual income from the height of Bad Boy Records, but Sean Combs ain't making no music. Diddy's money comes from being Diddy. That's over after the public sees the four corners of this petition. That is OVA over. So again, if I'm Diddy's closest advisor, and I know those guys, and it was cool to know them and say I knew this guy. Now I won't say their names because they're not complicit in the actual underlying acts. But if you sit and see, when people do dumb stuff, it's because the number two guy didn't say, hey, bro, let's square you up here. So I'm looking at the number two guy and the number three gal like, yo, what's up with your business valuation skills? Because let's be clear, in your heart of hearts, if you're the number two or number three and you've been around Brother Love all these years, you know this is true as well, right? But even if you don't know it's true, you read this and you have to visualize a Cassie sitting on a witness stand crying. You have to visualize a Cassie sitting in a one-on-one with Oprah in an idyllic setting. You have to visualize a Cassie doing the media rounds, and you know that it's over for Diddy because Diddy gets his money from being Diddy. Them Ciroc, that's gone. All this other, that's gone. Now, meanwhile, let's sign this confidential check, Brother Love. I know it's going to be a shitty day, but we're going to drink this Ciroc and we're going to drink it off because tomorrow we're going to announce the Bad Boy Reunion Tour Part 5 and we're going to get this $30 million back. Take that. So just as a simple risk mitigation business strategy. And again, if you're Diddy, you know this stuff is true too. And how long did you think you'll be able to hold?
But Don, this is why you know what it looks like when somebody's been getting away with something.
Yes.
For so long. I mean, it looks like Trump, right? Oh, he can literally say, I can shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and they'll still vote for me. and they did. He could say, all you need to do is grab him by the pussy. Poor Billy Bush, ha ha ha, got fired. This man got elected. When you get away with things and no one's ever checked you, all the way back to the basketball game at City College where so many souls lost their lives and there was no accountability, you went on to become even more famous. There's a sense of invincibility, right? There's a Teflon nature that you feel like you can never fall, and that's the hubris that far too many people have in this world. And this world is often set up for you to have that hubris, because who's gonna check me, boo? I think that is a famous saying.
Pride goeth before the fall, and the primary grounding capacity is humility. And I think that everybody, I mean, you and I, once you experience some modicum of success in this country, assuming that you're good at what you do and you're going to continue being good and getting better at what you do, the challenge then, the greatest battle is against ego. And ego's an MF, because ego knows everything you're going to do, knows all your moves inside and out. So the battle becomes one of humility. And, these things, cliches are cliches because they true. The Bible is 3,000 years old. Pride goeth before the fall, right? And so, I mean, like, this is the oldest time.
I mean, back to your number 2 and number 3, having people in your life that are going to say that you can listen to, that you will listen. Because that's, again, we were just talking about parents' generation. People don't want to listen. You have to have somebody that can pull you to the side and rock your ego and let you know, first of all, your breath stink. So let's fix that. It's amazing to me, famous people walking around with stink breath. Like, I'm like, you have no friends. You've been walking around with that breath. Nobody in your life told you.
Nobody in your life is telling you. But, there's a lot of enabling happening in a Cosby-esque almost fashion. There's no way that you've had this big of an entourage in a circle, even if it's tight knit, and a lot of enabling not happening. And so that's a part of this as well. Diddy, to me, almost like the Michael Jackson postulate applies to him. Diddy been famous a long time. The rules have not applied to him for a long time, right? And that has to do something to one's psyche. It does not excuse human rights abuses. And if you think about the things that were in the 4 corners of that petition, those are human rights abuses, such that somebody should have been able to advise Diddy, hey, bro, first of all, and I know that this is true-ish, if not true. We know it's true-ish. And if any of this sees the light of day, it's a wrap for both you and me. So in the interest of me preserving myself as the number 2, I'm going to write this check for you, right? Even if you don't want to, I'm going to write this check. And so, because here's the deal. I mean, you and I are both, well-reasoned, smart Black folks who are from the culture. And there was not a moment that you or I thought that girl was lying. Right. And so it's kind of like, and we've been around, we know, we've heard, we've seen, we've met people, people say, and it's like, yo, man, just in the interest of preserving your own selfishness, right? You got to write that check, brother. You got to write that check.
Facts. Gene Deal's been in my life 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I sat with Gene Deal when I had my publishing deal with Simon & Schuster, and I made a decision not to, because I don't really peddle in that, even if it's true, there's not enough. I'm like, I'm not getting sued, at that time, the Tasha K, this is before, predates all of that. I was like, there's a line in which, but, I have tapes and tapes and tapes, all of the stuff that Gene is saying now. It's like, and he's adding stuff to the commentary that it's like, wow, and that's eyewitness, but I couldn't verify. And being a journalist that I am, if I don't have immutable, information, I'm not going out in the public with it. I mean, there's things I'm going to take to my grave because it's just.
And that's why, and you're a journalist and you have journalistic standards. I'm a commentator, so I'm here to give my opinion. We have 2 fundamentally different roles.
Well, not on this radio program. Opinion. Right.
Not on this program.
I'm not a journalist here.
My opinion is informed by the idea that there's likely some validity to something in there. And it was thus a poor decision for Diddy to not go with a pretrial negotiation setting. And here we are.
here we are. And maybe this is where we need to be too. Like I said, maybe this
There's
needed to
that.
happen. Maybe
There's
this
that.
just needed to happen.